Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello and welcome to the Red Lasered Water Guy show tonight, and where we're playing in the quantum field to help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. That's what we're all about. So I love helping people do that. I'm all about, the quality of life, and, our health is our greatest asset. It's the most valuable asset we have is our health, because when we have our health, life's a lot of fun. When we don't have our health, it's not so much fun. I've watched way too many people over the years, lose their health, but, still kind of existing, but they're not having any fun. They're not playing life anymore. They're just there telling their story. And too many times it's the same story over and over. That kind of keeps them locked into that vibration, if you will, because everything's energy vibrating at a frequency. And that frequency that you're vibrating is what you're going to continually keep creating. And so we're here to help you help yourself understand that you can change that. It's all based on, the thoughts we're thinking, the words we're saying, the environment we put ourselves in. All of that comes together as a frequency and a vibration that keeps us where we are. And it's either going healthier or it's going less healthy, because there's also a momentum in place. Momentum, just like if you're driving your car, you got a momentum going based on how fast you're going. And your health is the same way. And, if you're going healthier and you've got that momentum working for you, your vibration's higher, you're living life to the fullest, you've got more activities going, you got plenty of energy. However, if it's different, if you're feeling less energy and more sluggish, you got a momentum going that way too. So our goal here is to help you recognize that momentum and then slow it down, bring it to a halt, and then reverse it if you're, not going the direction you want to go. And so that's how simple it is. It's all up to us individually, and the quantum field, doesn't care. It's called universal laws. Okay. And universal laws are going to, they work on cause and effect. And each of us is the cause of our own reality. And, in all areas of our life, not just in health and wellness, but health and wellness is kind of where we're focusing here. But when you have your health, you can change everything else. When you don't have your health, it's harder to make those changes. And so, tonight we're going to talk more about green light and violet light as far as light therapy, because all light is a therapy. It just, is it helping the body heal itself and have more fun, or is it hindering the body? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And the body's dynamic. The other thing, most people, including the medical society, want to think of the body as static. You've got this going on, and that's it. You're always going to have that going on. Well, our body changes with every breath, every moment. We're dynamic. We can change on the, with just one thought. We can change everything in our life with one thought if we can hold on to that thought and override the belief that goes against it. Okay, because all desire is a belief, and then all resistance is also a belief. And so it's like when you have a desire, you're going to come up against a belief. It's either going to support you in creating that desire, or it's going to say you can't do it. It's going to hold you back. So we have to kind of be aware of that. And awareness is the key. Awareness is the key to everything. When you become aware of something, now you can change it. Until you become aware of it, you can't change it. And then, when you become aware of something, the next thing you need is more knowledge about it. So more knowledge gets you started in that direction. But the key for really understanding it and learning it is experience. There's no substitute for experience. Experience is the real teacher. Okay, it's like with our products. that I'm working with here to help raise your vibration to help the body to heal itself naturally. I can talk all day here, about the red laser and the hydro and the green laser and everything, but it's when you experience it in person that you know it. And then until then, you know about it, and you may or may not be interested, you may or may not believe it. But when you experience it, that's why I do a lot of expos, like Conscious Life Expo in February. I'll be speaking and lecturing in Conscious Life Expo. I've got several others that I'm working on here. So there I can actually, work on you with the laser 3 to 5 minutes. And it's amazing the difference it makes, because lasers work at the speed of light. So does our body. Okay. Our body works at the speed of light also. And so let's go ahead and get started here tonight. We'll bring up the PowerPoint here. Here we go. All right. So again, Joe Blanton here, the red lasered water guy, and here to help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. And we're talking about anti-aging with light therapy. So I went ahead and made it kind of a general for all light therapy, because all light has its effect on our body. But Dr. Jack Kruse, self-acclaimed mitochondriac, says to optimize your light, your water, and your magnetism is the key to a healthy life, because light, water, and magnetism are what bring in more electrons into the cells and make the mitochondria healthy. The mitochondria are the engine for our whole body. It's what produces the life force energy in our cells. So light therapy either helps or hinders your body's ability to heal itself, depending on what light we're talking about and the intensity of it. Sunlight is really one of the best full spectrum light therapies you can get. And yet too much sunlight can harm your body. So, like in a sunburn, something like that. So light therapy, the more you can get out in the sun, that's one of the best therapies you can get, is get out in the sun, spend some time there. The more skin that the sun touches, the more the rays you'll get, because some of it's filtered out a little bit in the clothing. But the sunlight is over 50% red and infrared, mainly infrared light spectrum, which is what gives up electrons to our body. It optimizes, excites the mitochondria, and that's what we're all about, is helping build the mitochondria to be a healthier engine for you, to produce more energy so that you have your health back. The more energy you've got in your cells, the healthier you are, the stronger your immune system, and you don't have to be concerned about any of the stuff that's going on around you. Okay, then there's blue light. Blue light can be harmful if it's not balanced with the red light as it is in the sun. There's blue light in the sun, but it's balanced with the red. And the blue light we'll talk about here in a little bit is one of the most harmful lights that we're affected with here with cell phones, all the blue light, from cell phones and TVs, etc. So mitochondria is the key to anti-aging and longevity. So that's why, we want to optimize and excite the mitochondria as much as possible. And Dr. Doug Wallace says, aging is simply malfunctioning mitochondria, not enough energy in the mitochondria, in the cell. And so that's the main problem. Doug Wallace is known as the top expert. He's been studying the mitochondria for over 4 decades. And so he's a real authority on it. And that's what he says, this aging is simply dysfunctional or malfunctioning mitochondria. So, and every cell has hundreds to several thousand mitochondria producing ATP. ATP is what I call the life force energy. The mitochondria is your engine, and it's producing the energy. And it can only do that when it efficiently burns the fuel, which is oxygen, that it's being brought, through the water in your blood. And so it's about understanding that every cell has mitochondria, hundreds to thousands, except red blood cells. So Yeah, Dr. Doug Wallace also says that the bioenergetic deficit in your cells, not enough energy, is responsible for about 80% of today's diseases because of the lack of the energy in the cell, which I feel is pretty accurate. And the more energy you have in your cells, the healthier you are and the longer you can live. It's really that simple. Just we got to tune up the mitochondria, spend more time and more money working on our engine, and getting it running at 100%. And then, we can live life to the fullest. Again, your health, my health is my greatest asset. And that's why I work so much on staying with it. And it's not really work. It's just based on habits. What kind of habits do you have now that's keeping you from being as healthy as you want to be? And do you want to change those? All right. So in a nutshell, in Europe, they have what they call Bovis energy units is their way of measuring energy. And again, I call it the life force energy, but to help you understand a neutral value of a healthy person is 16,000 Bovis energy units. That's what the blue line is representing. So if the human body is given food that has less Bovis energy than the body itself, i.e. 16,000 BE, Bovis energy, then the food robs the body of its energy and thus weakens the body. Now, what that's saying is, if you're eating processed food, you've got something in a wrapper, you peel the wrapper off of it, tinfoil wrapper, and you eat it. It's not been exposed to the sun. It's electron starved. And in most of the things in wrappers have about a Bovis energy of about 3,000. So if you're eating something that's got a Bovis energy of 3,000, you just, it takes more energy from the body to get rid of it than it's giving the body energy. And so on the other hand, if you eat something, a food that has more than the body itself, the body then receives constructive energy and thus it is strengthened. So if you're eating, spinach and you're eating, foods that are alive, that have been exposed to the sun, they've got over 16,500 Bovis energy units. Now they're giving energy to the body, and the body has a chance then to heal itself and, function optimally for optimal wellness. So anti-aging light therapy. Let's talk about some light therapy here. Again, it's all about optimizing your light, your water, and your magnetism. Okay, well, understand what light and water is. Magnetism is simply being grounded, touching the earth physically. Take your shoes off, stand in the dirt, play in the sand, go out and run up and down the beach. Okay. That is bringing electrons into the body through magnetism. The earth gives up electrons to the body. You want as many free electrons in your body as possible, and that helps to stimulate the mitochondria and give the mitochondria the electron stream that it needs to create the life force energy in your blood and your body. Okay, so sunlight therapy. Sunlight therapy is free. Okay, you can go outside. Over 50% of the light from the sun is infrared light for a reason. Okay, it's what keeps everything on the earth alive. When there's no sunshine, things can still grow, but they change dramatically. Like, some of the creatures that live in the ground, that never see the sun. Well, think about some of the people in the high rises in some of the big cities that never get out of that building. They got everything right there in that one concrete structure, and they don't see the sun hardly at all. That has an effect on our whole demeanor, our whole body, and our whole health and wellness. So over 50% of the sun is infrared light, and infrared light activates and optimizes our mitochondria and gives up free electrons into our body. So getting out in the sun, exposing your skin to the sun, and then while you're at it, take your shoes off and, get in the wet grass or into the dirt, sand, and get some electrons that way also. Get back into nature. So sunlight at daybreak and dusk, you can look right into it directly, right, just as it's coming up and just as it's going down. It's a lot of infrared rays there, and it also helps to reset your circadian rhythm so that your body's more on the cycle of day and night to where it's healthier that way. So then exposing your skin to the sun stimulates the mitochondria to produce more easy water. A lot of people don't know, but the mitochondria, as well as producing life force energy, also produce water, but it's electron-rich water. It's called the exclusion zone. There's no protons in it. It's all electron-rich, so it's negatively charged, has a high negative redox potential, which redox potential is the net negative charge in the cell for the cell to be able to do its work. So we want a high net negative charge, and the higher that charge, the more energy you have. The more energy you have, the healthier your body is, the more stable it is, the more functionable, the more in balance it is. The benefits are just, priceless. So let's talk about anti-aging with dark therapy, okay? And again, it's all about optimizing your light, water, and magnetism. Well, let's talk about dark, all right? Dark light therapy comes in here also, because at night when you're sleeping, you want to be in a dark room with no light, because that helps keep your circadian rhythm clock in tune for optimal wellness, okay? It allows your body to move into a homeostasis to relax and heal with the melatonin release. If you have light in the room, whether it's blue light from a TV or whether it's just, light coming in from outside, without the darkness, our body gets mixed signals for releasing melatonin versus cortisol. Okay, it's kind of back and forth. So it stresses out the body. The mitochondria work overtime. And, it's very hard on the body because your body's not getting the sleep that it needs, the true rest, okay, back and forth like that. And one of the most harmful things is the blue light from the TV and then the programming you're getting, from all the words and stuff, if you go to sleep with it on, stuff like that, which I know people that do that. So what causes dysfunctional mitochondria? Well, dysfunctional mitochondria, the blue light I just talked about, increases cortisol production and inhibits the melatonin, which interrupts our circadian rhythm. So the blue light, it's like right now on my computer, because I'm on a computer a lot, like a lot of people, but I have a program called Iris. And so Iris shields that blue light for me. And it has different settings on it where I can change the settings if I choose to, but I just put it on automatic and pick health. And it takes the blue light and override, kind of balances out with red light, etc. And so that helps. And you can get that I got it on my cell phone, got it on my laptop, and I haven't owned a TV in 40 years. So I don't have it on TV because I don't have one. So the next thing that harms our body, our mitochondria, really just stresses it as far as its electron function to create energy, is non-native EMF, okay, electromagnetic field. Non-native, notice, there's a natural EMF like out in nature. Our body understands that electromagnetic field from a tree or from grass or from dirt or from, plants. Okay, but it doesn't understand the 60 cycles in our walls. That was the first EMF that was generated that started harming our biofield and our mitochondria and our ability to communicate. And it affects the animals too. We're losing honeybees. It's amazing for the last 20 years how much the honeybees have, gone away. And now we've got birds and stuff like that are extinct because they can't find, they're not able to communicate like they were, and they've lost their GPS, if you will, for migration and things like that. So anyhow, 60 cycles was the first EMF that started harming us. Then you have blenders, like if you have a Vitamix blender, anything that has an electric motor in it generates its own electromagnetic field that's harmful to our body. It's like a Vitamix blender has a one-horse motor in it. It produces 220 milligauss of harmful EMF every time you turn it on. That's what it's putting into your healthy drink, is 220 milligauss of incoherent EMF, electromagnetic field. Okay, the powers to be say 2 milligauss is the maximum we're supposed to be able to handle in a healthy way. Well, your computer, a laptop computer, has 5 milligauss. So anyhow, there's a lot of need there for protection, and especially now with the 5G. And everything man-made has a certain amount of harmful EMF in it because nature didn't put it together, man did. And so they use glues, they use fillers, they use different things and able to build something like even a supplement. Your supplements have been man-made, capsule and all that. So there's a certain amount of harmful EMF in there. And what you're gambling on is that there's enough healthy EMF in there, to offset it. And so it's really that simple. All right. And so the other way of causing a dysfunctional mitochondria is eating non-electron rich food. So again, it comes back to electrons come from sunshine and dirt. Okay. And those are the two main ones in nature to get you the electrons. And so if you've got a food that you're eating out of a tinfoil wrapper that's never seen the sun, and all the ingredients are processed to where they don't look anything like nature, then you're probably eating non-electron rich food, and that is robbing energy from your body. The other is non-electron rich water, which if you're taking water out of a faucet and drinking it, or out of some, dark closet, it's not been exposed to the sun, it has no movement to it, then, it's non-electron rich water, also vibrating lower than you are and has less life force energy in it. So all of that is causing our body to rob Peter to pay Paul, to make us think we're healthy as long as it can. And then it reaches a point where it can't rob Peter to pay Paul anymore. And all of a sudden, you break. You see, all of a sudden you got this pain, or, your disc slipped, because water is the only thing that causes your back to lubricate the disc in your spine. Okay, nothing else does. It has to be water, and structured water is what really works to do that. So if you're drinking regular bottled water and stuff like that that's not structured, now the body has to take up more energy to structure that water and microcluster it through digestion in order to get it into your cells and to lubricate your joints and stuff like that. So it's critical to be working with microclustered water and structured water also, which we'll get into in a little bit. And we may touch on EMF also. We use nature to help transmute harmful EMF to beneficial EMF for the human body. We're not trying to block anything. So let's talk about green light now. Okay, a long way around there, but now we're to green laser light. Okay, there's a lot of studying being done on green light therapy, where they're just using regular green light, and they're having good luck with reduced pain and stuff like that with rodents. Is what they're working with. And so we have a green laser that we've used sacred geometry, and we've added a bunch of frequencies to it that match optimal wellness of the body, what we call human blueprint frequencies. And when you use that light therapy, it's kind of a shortcut for, people that can't get out in the sun enough, things like that. Our whole program is built about the convenience of self-care for self-healing. Have these tools with you where you can use the light, to optimize your light. You can use the hydro combo, et cetera, to optimize your water. You can use our EMF protection to optimize your magnetism. And so all of that's what we're all about, is self-care for self-healing. So when you use the green laser, it's used to improve the oxygen carrying ability of the red blood cells, which is super important. We want more oxygen in the red blood cells because that's what delivers it to the to the cell to get into the mitochondria. Structured water. I love it. So anyhow, it also helps in reducing the blood pressure. It improves blood circulation and increases the nitric oxide release. It boosts the function of the brain. It helps reduce swelling, inflammation, and pain. So green light therapy is very, very helpful. Our green light, laser light, is also got human blueprint frequencies added for the optimal wellness of all the internal organ systems of our body. So it's like if you use it through the navel for like 3 minutes, it'll do a tune-up of all the internal organ systems of the body, because all the internal organ systems are still energetically connected to the navel, not physically, but energetically. And that's what we're talking about here, is the quantum world. You know, what Albert Einstein calls spooky action at a distance. You know, they're still connected, but not physically. We've moved into, you know, a higher dimension there with the quantum field, which is the universal law I talked about. So here again, we're optimizing your light and your water and your magnetism when you use our products. So the green light laser therapy here. All right, let's talk about violet laser light. The violet laser from Pure Vibrance improves microcirculation by nitric oxide release. All of our lasers overlap quite a bit. All of our products overlap with the human blueprint frequencies that are in them, because everything is tied together. It's all hooked up. You know, it's not separate. Like, you know, the medical society today wants to treat our body like a car. Well, let's just take this piece out and put, you know, a new one in. Well, it doesn't work very well that way. It's okay for emergencies and things like that, but it's not okay for wellness, because wellness, everything is connected. Everything has to work energetically together. And so anyhow, it accelerates the accelerating agent for wound healing. The violet laser is very good at helping the body accelerate wound healing. It supports pain relief, stimulates the immune system, and it also activates telomerase with maximum anti-aging effects. So, and this is all about anti-aging too. Again, if the mitochondria, if aging is all about a dysfunctional mitochondria, and we can help heal the mitochondria, or help the body heal mitochondria, because the body has to do all the healing. All we do is help raise the vibration to where it can, you know, help heal itself. And let's talk about that a minute. All dis-ease and discomfort is a lowering of the vibration from optimal wellness. And all healing comes from raising that vibration of back up to the optimal wellness vibration. A healthy muscle vibrates at a specific frequency, and more human. That's what makes it a muscle, is that frequency, that, you know, base frequency. If it's hurting, it's vibrating lower than that. We infuse the optimal wellness frequency into the body. The lower frequency will always entrain back up to the higher frequency, and you feel a whole lot better. Okay. And so again, we're talking about optimizing your light and your water and your magnetism here with the violet laser light. So light therapy. And then anti-aging with light therapy here, we have the red infrared laser, which is my favorite. I've been working with the company over 14 years now. I've seen miraculous stuff. I've felt it, you know, myself. For instance, I wore glasses for 52 years, and I started lasering my eyes a few years ago, and 20 to 30 seconds at a time, just to demonstrate to people that it was harmless. And all of a sudden, I didn't need reading glasses anymore. So I kept demonstrating it that way, not consistently, only at expos and stuff. And then I got to where I didn't need glasses in the daytime, and kept doing it. And then all of a sudden, a couple of years ago, it was like, I don't need glasses at night anymore either. And I just renewed my driver's license last August, and they took the requirement for corrective lenses off my driver's license. So I've gone full circle, okay, from not needing them to needing them, and now not needing them again. So I know, you know, this works amazingly well. Had a lady call me today who she's got a hole somewhere in her eye, and it was causing her brain to really feel stressed. And what was her word? Just stressed, I guess is a good word, you know, disoriented. And in less than a month now, she said that, you know, she's reading better. Her brain doesn't feel like it's stressed out, trying to focus and everything through her eyes. And she's real happy. Plus she was working on her knee and everything was feeling better. So that's why I love this thing. It's all about the muscular skeletal body. So it relaxes and optimizes the mitochondria in seconds, which I'll cover here in a little bit, and increases the ATP production and the energy current in the cells. So usually you get about a 30% life force energy increase in your blood in the first 30 seconds. It takes the trauma out of a new injury in 30 to 45 seconds, which I've experienced myself more than once. I carry the red laser with me all the time. And I'm hiking and climbing mountains and stuff like that still. So it strengthens the cells, makes them stronger, increases the cell activity, toughens the immune system, improves circulation, and regenerates damaged tissue structure by stimulating the body's natural healing process. And what it does in a nutshell is it upregulates your gene expression, building a healthier protein. And it's all, again, about optimizing your light, your water, and your magnetism with the red infrared red light therapy. And so we've also, last October, introduced a gold disc, which is sacred geometry with a lot of human blueprint frequencies added to it and programmed. And when so it increases the Bovis energy dramatically. It's a biophotonic amplifier is what it is. So when you wrap this around the end of the green laser, it does everything we mentioned earlier, but the gold disc takes the Bovis energy from 365,000 Bovis energy units to over 1 million Bovis energy units. So it's more than tripling the efficacy of the green light laser therapy. It also adds 3,566 human blueprint frequencies for different parts of the body, the muscles, bones, ligaments, tendons, joints, eyes, things like that. So all of that just by adding the disc on the end of the green laser. And on the violet laser is antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. Green, again, is for internal organ systems. But the violet laser, when you put the gold disc on it, okay, it takes the Bovis energy from 885,000 Bovis energy to over 1.5 million Bovis energy. And then it takes the human blueprint frequencies to over 3.5 million that it's adding. So again, we're helping entrain the body back up towards optimal wellness frequencies when we use these on a consistent basis. In 2 to 3 minutes at a time is all you need to use it, as often as you want. So on the red laser, when we add the gold disc on the red laser, it takes the Bovis energy from 330,000 to, again, over 1 million. So more than triples the efficacy of the energy in the red light laser therapy. And then it adds 5,573 human blueprint frequencies, where without the gold disc, it was 1,645. So it almost triples the, and again, we do that because it's a biophotonic amplifier drawing out of the quantum field. So it's like in quantum physics, 1.1, or 1 plus 1 is 12, it changes. So I love it. Mitochondria is the key to longevity. So, the mitochondria burns the oxygen that's delivered to it through the cell to produce the ATP, our life force energy. And when it does that, when you're burning that oxygen, it's also creating free radicals. And that's where most of the free radicals are generated in our body, is the mitochondria producing the energy, our life force energy. And so free radicals attack the DNA and cells to steal electrons, because what makes it a free radical is it's missing an electron. And that creates inflammation and free radicals. And so the mitochondria also creates water, EZ water. It's called exclusion zone water. The mitochondria create our life force energy, but they also produce this water because the mitochondria is surrounded with water. There's an outer membrane, inner membrane. And so it's producing this, what's called exclusion zone water, electron-rich water, according to Gerald Pollack. He's the one that wrote the fourth phase of water. And so it does that so there's no protons in it. So it keeps it a high negative charge in the cells and everything. So this is what happens. I call it nature's medicine, which are the human blueprint frequencies that de-stresses your body. But there's two key mechanisms that happen with red infrared laser light therapy. And, the mitochondria is the key. NASA tells us that when you injure an area on the body, the mitochondria in that area curl up, figuratively speaking, like a hedgehog. And what they don't say is they stop communicating cell to cell. And that's whether you're stressed or whether you have a trauma, cut, a bruise, something like that. And as soon as the red light hits the mitochondria, it immediately relaxes the mitochondria completely. The mitochondria kick out the excess nitric oxide that it's accumulated when it was curled up and brings in more oxygen. And that's why it creates about 30% more life force energy, is it has more oxygen now to function normally. And our cells are communicating cell to cell. So if there's any swelling, it'll reduce that swelling, or if it's a new cut or something like that, there won't be any swelling if you get on it right away. It's actually cellular repair in the moment, which I've got testimonials I can show you about cuts and things on my own body that can document that. So anyhow, it allows more oxygen and produces more ATP in seconds. And the second thing is hormesis. Okay, it makes your cells healthier, more resilient, more energetic, more tolerant to stress, and it helps prevent the buildup of more free radicals that way. So those are the two key components that happen in seconds as soon as the red laser light hits your body. Or sunlight. Sunlight helps also, because sunlight's giving up free electrons. It's got the infrared light in it. So getting out in the sun, if you injure yourself, or if you just don't feel good, get out in the sun, get your mitochondria charged back up. So just be careful of a sunburn. So what we're doing is igniting your own energy, upregulating your own gene expression to build a healthier protein. It's just really that simple. And proteins are the expression of life. Okay, your proteins are responsible for the structure and function of your body. And you think about what that really means. Your structure, your physical structure, and then the function, your ability to have balance and to bend over and touch the floor with your hands and stuff like that. It's all based on how healthy your proteins are, and your proteins are based on how healthy how much energy you got, because every cell in your body creates proteins, builds its own proteins except red blood cells. So anyhow, stimulating the mitochondria, optimizing the mitochondria is the key to wellness and longevity and anti-aging. And so this is we do a lot of live blood analysis. We do GDV camera, the biophotonic camera testing on life force energy. We do lots of testing in different ways, test against what our products do against for the DNA, et cetera. So this is a lady who's was hydrated. Her blood's all sticky and rouleed, and then shined a red laser on her chest for about 2 minutes. And then this is what her blood looked like, all free flowing. So that's how quick it happens when you're adding life force energy and extra electrons. See, every photon in the red light laser beam, red and infrared light laser beam, every photon gives up an electron into the body, into the blood, into our body. And so we help your body be electron rich, and you want as many free electrons as possible to offset the free radicals and to reduce the inflammation, et cetera, in your body, and keep your blood flowing freely. Because the blood on the left here is a compromised immune system. The only part of the blood that gives up toxins and takes on oxygen is the part that's exposed when it goes through the lungs. Well, on the right side, after using a laser for a couple of minutes, your blood's all separate. So now when this blood goes through the lungs, it gives up more toxins and takes on more oxygen because the whole red blood cells exposed. And then the microcirculation improves tremendously when the red blood cells are all free flowing. Now you have much better microcirculation, and pain is lack of oxygen on a cellular level. So when we give you more life force energy and more oxygen and more microcirculation, that's when pain starts to dissipate quickly, but it's not being covered up. It's actually the body starting to heal itself, because it now has more life force energy, better oxygen, and more microcirculation. It's everything it needs. And Bruce Lipton says it best: the fate of our cells is determined by the chemistry of our blood. because the chemistry of our blood, and our blood's 94% water. So structured water and microclustered water is critical to getting oxygen to the cells and getting that oxygen into the cells so that the mitochondria have that oxygen to burn and create the life force energy and have the electron chain that it needs to be able to do that. So it's all, together. It's not any one piece, right? It's all inclusive of our body. And there's no exceptions to that. Okay, so today's water in a closed system is not natural. It's in a dark, long straight pipes being exposed to high pressure pumps. It's macro clustered instead of micro clustered. It's got low Bovis energy. It's not aerated. It's proton rich instead of electron rich, which means it's inflammatory. It lowers our pH into an acidic level. And our body's got to work hard to hydrate the body with it because it's got to go through the digestive process. So, and we all know what's in the air and what's, the chemicals they put in the water systems and the stuff that they call food, some of which is only one molecule away from plastic, the chemicals in our atmosphere, the cell phones, the stress, everything here is causing the mitochondria to be malfunctioning and dysfunctional. All of that does, because it's lowering the life force energy in our system. It's vibrating low, and it's pulling us down mentally and every other way. So when sunlight hits water, it makes a huge capacitor. And so when the sun, and what that means is sunlight gives up electrons into water, and we're looking for electron-rich water. And so our body is, over 70% water. Your blood's 94% water. Your eyes are 98% water. And so being out in the sunshine and getting that, electron rich infusion into the water in your blood and into your body is what is starting to optimize the mitochondria from being out in the sun. All right. And so Jack Kruse says that when the sun's red infrared rays infuse electrons in water, it holds the charge, and stores the energy. And so it'd be storing energy in our blood and in our the water that's in our intercellular structure. So every mitochondria is surrounded by EZ water, we talked about. The mitochondria create its own electron-rich water, but if you don't have enough energy, it's hard for that to happen, and that's where the malfunctioning mitochondria come in. It's causing a lot of the problems in our society today. So we want as many free electrons as possible today, and again, you can get it free. Go out in the sunshine, spend some time in the sunshine. Okay, you can put your water out in the sunshine, and it'll collect electrons also. Put a gallon of water out there and let it set all day. Or you can take the lasers and laser it for 30 seconds and do the same thing. So it only takes 30 seconds to energize the water, whether it's a glass or 5 gallon, 30 seconds. Okay, so what's the water doing for us in our body? Water serves several functions, keeps us healthy and energized. It's a vital nutrient for life for every cell by itself. It acts as a building material in the body. It regulates our internal body temperature by sweat and respiration. The carbohydrates and proteins that our bodies use for food and metabolism are transported by water in the bloodstream. And structured water is what our body needs to make that happen. Acts as a shock absorber for the brain, spinal cord, and fetus. It hydrates your disc in your spine. So, water is the only thing that's going to hydrate it. Coffee's not, tea's not. So anyhow, water's magnificent. And the quality of your water is the quality of your life. Quality of your health is the quality of your life also. No exceptions. So, okay. So water in nature, the difference between water in a closed system and water in nature is come rocky stream exposed to the sun. It's aerated, it's high energy, it's electron rich, structured and microclustered because it's going around all the rocks and swirling and spinning and vortexing. And it hydrates our body effortlessly because our body recognizes it, and it's microclustered to where it starts hydrating the body from the mouth and the upper stomach. Doesn't have to be digested. So anti-aging with light therapy. Again, it's about optimizing your light, your water, and your magnetism. So over 50% of the light from the sun is infrared light for a reason. Again, because infrared light activates and optimizes the mitochondria. It's what the plants need for photosynthesis, etc. So you need to expose your skin to the sun to stimulate the mitochondria and produce more easy water. And then let's talk about the magnetism part of optimizing your light, water, and magnetism. Magnetism is simply grounding. So while you're out there getting more sunlight, take your shoes off, put your feet in the dirt, and the body receives electrons from the earth that way. So it's really pretty simple, and it can be free. You just got to change some of your habits and take the time to go out and build your health if it's not where you want it to be right now. So how to optimize the mitochondria is eat sun-rich, sun-touched foods and water, electron-rich as nature intended. Use the iris or some kind of a blue light blocker. Blackout shades in your bedroom. Use a blackout mask. And again, grounding is a good way to optimize the mitochondria. EMF protection. Okay, again, we have at Pure Vitamins, we have EMF protection that's using nature. We use pieces of plants and minerals to transmute the harmful EMF to beneficial EMF. And then we have transformers also that can go in your house that neutralize the Wi-Fi and everything coming in from out into the spatial area from outside of your house. So that's how we optimize the mitochondria. And, duplicate sunlight with the red infrared laser, stimulate the mitochondria and produce 30% more life force energy in 30 seconds. Every photon gives up an electron. And then, again, we're igniting your own energy to build healthier proteins, upregulating your gene expression. And proteins are the expression of life and responsible for structure and function. And for your water, we have the hydro unit. It can be used as a bottle topper or a flow-through unit. And that's how you can hydrate you can duplicate nature here with the hydro unit. It's duplicating, coming down to the Rocky Mountain stream. And so that's how we help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. Because you got to excite the water in your body. The more light energy, the more light you can turn into electrical current, the healthier you're going to be, because the healthier your mitochondria is going to be. And again, we're dynamic, we're not static, and we're all about solutions here. We're not about symptoms, we're about solutions. So, I like to point out the situation or the challenge or the problem, but then I want to show you a solution because, it doesn't do any good to chew on the problem. We got to look for the solution. And in over 40 years of working holistic wellness, 5M with Vibrance for the last 14 years, I haven't seen anything as state of the art, dealing in the quantum field and not in the physical, by raising the vibration, which helps you help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. Only the body heals. Not that there's not a time and a place for surgery and situations like that in emergencies, but for health and wellness, it has to be done as a whole. So, and with sunlight. Okay, let me see if I got anything else here. So, okay. So remember, nobody else can vibrate for you. It's up to you, to start looking for ways to help your body heal itself naturally. And to do that, all healing comes from raising the vibration back up toward optimal wellness. So we're here to help you do that. Joe Blanton, the Red Laser Water Guy, give me a call. Let me know how I can help. And we'll go forward from there. 469-766-5511, or you can go to my laseredwater.com site. And we'll look forward to hearing from you. Take care and have fun.